What's up, people of YouTube? I'm Karsatowski and welcome back to the Karsatowski Bowling YouTube channel. So in today's bowling breakdown, we have the 2019 PBA Tournament of Champions. So let's get on to the title match. Here is the title match of the 2019 PBA Tournament of Champions, featuring the number 1 seed Jason Belmonte and the number 3 seed EJ Tackett. EJ Tackett starts off with the light mixer. EJ was averaging pretty close to 250 in his first 2 matches, so he was red hot in his games that he bowled previously. And at this point in time, Jason Belmonte was close to 20 titles overall, and this would be his 10th major title overall in his career, and this would be his 3rd Tournament of Champions if he would win it. He starts off with a good strike using that urethane ball. So this Tournament of Champions, this was actually the 2nd consecutive Tournament of Champions that has been contested at Riviera Lanes in Akron, Ohio, which is one of the most iconic bowling centers in all of the PBA. It formerly hosted the Tournament of Champions from, I think, 1965 until 1994. And then there were no PBA national events held at Riviera Lanes until 2018. And it's, oh, Jason got a good trip 4 there. So anyway, so yeah, but 24 years of dormancy not being held at Riviera Lanes. And then since 2018, all the way till this year, 2025, it has been held at Riviera Lanes, except for the year 2021, which is arguably probably the worst season of PBA bowling and television ever, in my opinion, but we don't talk about that at all. So yeah, but Riviera Lanes, very iconic center. It is about 3 hours from where I am right now, and EJ has a really good shot for a ring 10. I have never been to that center before. I do plan on going to the Tournament of Champions stepladder one of these days. I don't know when I'd be able to go over there, but yeah, I would love to be able to go to the TOC one time. I've never actually been to a live PBA telecast before. I have been to an extra frame event that was held at Coldwater in 2019, the same year this was being contested, but I've never actually been to a live match on television. Alright, so at this time, Belmo had 6 more titles than EJ with 7 more majors. And at this time, Belmo has 32 titles with 15 majors, and EJ has 27 titles with 7 majors. So they both have quite a bit more titles at this point. They both have just about doubled their titles count since this Tournament of Champions, and this was 6 years ago. So the career that these 2 players have had in just the last handful of years is just unlike really any other players in the last several decades. It's kind of amazing to watch. Especially EJ is more than likely going to do what Belmo did last decade and win 3 consecutive Player of the Years. And it's actually kind of amazing to me that EJ has not won the TOC since 2017. He had a chance this season to do it, and then he ended up losing, finishing 4th in the title match. So yeah, that happened there. And Belmo has won this event now 4 times. And in a little statistic with Jason at the TOC, this year in 2025 was by far the lowest finish. Oh, he had got a good strike there with the late 7-pin. So this year in 2025 was Jason Belmonte's lowest placement at the Tournament of Champions since 2011. And he finished 23rd this year. Every year from 2012 until 2024, his lowest finish, I think, was 11th place. And he's made 10 step-ladder finals at this event, which just shows you the dominance in the TOC. And he's done something similar to a lot of other majors. So, yeah, and great shot there, opening up with a ham bone to really put the pressure on EJ. See, it's just interesting, though, and I think I might make a video sometime this year kind of detailing of how Jason's career has been going over the last couple of years, but, you know, yeah, anyway. But the TOC has been an event that Jason has really always done really well in, and this season right here, it just pretty much shows that. Pretty much. And again, EJ has bowled really well at the TOC. I think he made like 6 step ladders. 5-6 step ladders. So EJ has a good shot there. Yeah, EJ made probably close to half a dozen finals, and he's won 1 time in 2017. And if you all remember that match, that one was crazy. I won't get into it today, but go back and watch that sometime on your free time, or I might even do a bowling breakdown on that. That was a crazy title match also. Yeah. Alright, so EJ has had a few shots that have went a little bit light, a little bit high. Let's see if he can double up in the 5th frame to catch up. He needs some help from Jason, though, because Jason's perfect so far. Oh, almost leaves a 7-10. Alright, let's see if he can pick that up. There you go. Alright. So 3 spares through 5 frames for EJ Tackett. He's definitely going to need some help from Belmo. And Belmo has opted to go with the pitch black, which I believe is on the ban list for bowling balls use on the PBA Tour, because I believe you can only use a... I don't think you could use any discontinued equipment on the PBA Tour anymore. I think you could only use equipment that's like up to 3 years old, I'm pretty sure. And the pitch black was released probably close to a decade ago at this point. And that is a massive ring 10 for Jason. But he's still maintaining a pretty good lead. And that ball finishes just a little bit light in the pocket. Still a good shot, though. Oh, dadgummit. I miss 10 pins like that a lot. Mostly because my ball speed is a little bit low. Because if I don't throw it fast enough, then a lot of times the ball will just go to the left side a little bit too much. And that's a missed spare compilation. Jacob Butcherf has missed like 20 megables on TV. And Brad Miller had that infamous 4-pin. And Sean Rash missed that 10-pin, which would cost him a title earlier that season. Wow. But I don't think that missed 10-pin is going to affect Belmo too much. But for all those other players they've shown, those missed spares cost them a title. And Jason bounces back with a perfect strike. And by the way, Jacob Butcher finished second in this event the previous, well, a few weeks ago. Yeah, so interesting for Jason, Anthony Simonson, EJ Tackett, and Jacob Butcher, is they are some of the few players who are active on the PBA Tour who have made title matches. Oh, that pin almost stood up. Wow. Yeah, EJ's not having the best carry right now. Anyway, so what I was saying before is that EJ and Belmo and Simo and Butcherf, those are 4 players. Yeah, look at that pin almost stand up. That would have been incredibly unlucky because that would sit up on the 9 spot. Okay, but yeah, those 4 players are, I think, the only active players on tour who have made at least one title match in every major championship. And also, as of Butcherf's title match, I think all of those 4 players have finished second in a major at least 6 or 7 times. I think EJ and Simo have finished second in a major 6 times, and Belmo and Butcherf have both finished second in a major 7 times. But the glaring factor with all of them is that Butcherf only has 1 major, so he's 1-7 in major title matches. And that was a weird carry shot too. Just can't get his ball to go in the pocket correctly. So yeah, Butcherf is 1-7 in majors as of this season, and EJ is I think 7-6. Simo is 5-6, and Belmo is 15-7. It's interesting to see what each of those players' careers are going to look like by the time they retire. Butcherf, personally, I don't see Butcherf winning more than probably 2 or 3 majors in his career. He just does not do very well in title matches at all. Like, in all of his title matches on TV, he's like 4-12 or something like that. He's had a really rough time in title matches. But EJ, Belmo, and Simo, I think they will all be roughly about 50% in title matches. I mean, that's what Earl Anthony has been, and almost left a split there. Lucky to trip out the 7. But yeah, but Earl Anthony is right around 50-50, and so is Walter Ray. So you just got to get there a lot of times in order to win a bunch. And these guys have been in that position a lot. All right, get it. Perfect. Absolute perfect. Okay, so that lane, in the 5th frame, he left that 10 pin. On that, and then on the next shot, he goes a little bit high. And there you go. Earl and Pete tied for 10 majors, and they did it over a span of 16 years and 35 years. That's when Jason won his first Tournament of Champions in 2014. He beat Wes Millat in that title match, and then in 2015, he beat Rhino Page. Which Rhino Page is a player who I really would wish would bowl on tour more, but he's retired from PBA Tour competition. Let's see what he can do here. Good shot, perfect. Back-to-back good shots on that lane. The right lane, he threw a really good shot in the 5th frame to get 9, leave a 10 pin behind, and then in the 7th frame he goes high, almost leaving a split. So I think it's just a feet move. I think that's all he needs to do there. And for the 10th frame, he doesn't need to make any adjustment at all because he went dead perfect twice in a row. So he's in a good position going into the 9th and 10th frame. And it's just a matter if EJ can double up here. But this was a time when EJ's ball reaction would be really weird on TV. Like, he would have some games like the 2 previous that he had to this match where it seems like he can't miss. And then he'll have other matches like this one where he'll just have really weird pin carry. And he had 2 shots where he could have left splits this game alone. So he's definitely figured out a way to get around that. you know, considering the fact that he is about to win 3 consecutive Player of the Years. But it's interesting to see what minor tweaks he's made in his game for television and everything else overall to make him a better player, and that's what you got to do if you want to become that much better. Get there. Perfect shot. It's just about too little too late, though. If really all Jason needs to do is fill frames at this point, because even if EJ were to strike out, you know, Belmo would have to have an open somewhere in the 9th or 10th frame for EJ to have a chance. EJ 3 strikes in the first 9 frames. And Jason will join Mike Durbin and Jason Couch as the only 3-time winners with the win here. And he trips out the 8-pin on that shot, so he figured out that right lane. Probably moved his feet just a little bit. Maybe a speed adjustment potentially. And look at that, 570 RPMs. And also in 2019 was the first time they've ever used that strike tracker too. So I'm really not sure how accurate that system is, but I would assume that that system would be relatively accurate. And I think that was a really good thing that they've added in 2019. And this was also the very first year that they would go on to Fox Sports. Interesting year, 2019. Okay. He needs a mark to win. Great shot and leaves a 10-pin. Exactly the same hit that he had in the 5th frame. But that was on the right lane. This is the left lane where he's been perfect the whole match except for that one shot. Just needs to pick the spare up and he will win his 10th major. And that could have gotten the gutter right there. It could have, but it held on. Well, there you go. There you go. 10th major. Tied with Earl Anthony and Pete Weber for the most majors of all time. Check the score. Okay, there you go. And that will not be the last time they will meet in a title match. Yeah, they've met in a title match in the World Championship this year, and EJ came out with a win in that one. But I guarantee you, they'll both be making at least another 10 or more title matches throughout the remainder of their careers. Yeah, that's 3 TOCs for Belmo. Yep, 10 years for 10 majors and 16 years for Earl, 10 majors, 35 years for Pete, 10 majors and 12 years for Belmo. Man, it took Pete a long time. He won his first major in 1987 TOC, and he won his last major in 2013, which was his second TOC. So it was a long road for Pete. And EJ's finishing up here. Yeah, after that celebration, EJ just had to wait it out. Nice spare coverage. Yeah, I think EJ will win the TOC once again, and I won't watch the trophy presentation for that. Yeah, I mean, 2019 was a interesting year. Obviously, the deal with Fox came about, which brought up a lot of really good things. And you know, that this was really the year that we pretty much knew that Riviera was going to be back on the tour schedule consistently from now on. And also, I would attend my second ever Pro-Am on the PBA Tour the week after this, which would be the Players' Championship in Columbus, Ohio. Belmo would also be the #1 seed in that event, and I remember going to the Pro-Am, and I saw Jason over there, and I had him sign one of my bowling balls and one of my jerseys that I still wear today, and got a picture. And then when I was about to leave, I said, hey, good luck winning your 11th major tomorrow. And then, you know, the TV show comes around and he has a chance to win his 11th major, but he left 2 7-10 splits on the left lane to lose. And I thought to myself, oh no, did I just jinx Belmo in winning a major? Not winning a major? And then I didn't really think about it too much. And then I met Jason last year when he came to my bowling center for the Belmo experience. And I told him about that. Same thing I just told you right now. And he said, don't worry about it. I don't believe in jinxes. Yeah, for a while I thought that I had jinxed him, and that he might have remembered me at the back of his head that, you know, that kid wished me good luck on my 11th major, and then that happened. Okay, well, I'm glad that one of the best bowlers of all time doesn't think I'm a jinx, so that's a load off my back. Anyway, so that will definitely, I mean, the most recent time we've seen Belmo and EJ battle it out on TV was at the World Championship this year, as of recording this video. So that will definitely not be the last time, and you know, they'll probably face each other about another dozen times in their careers. But it's just interesting to see where both their careers will go from here. So anyway, guys, so if you want to watch any more videos just like this, then be sure to hit that subscribe button down below so you'll never miss any of my videos. I'm Karsatowski. Keep watching my content, and I'll see you in that next video. See ya.